Hey everyone, this is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film a video I've been threatening to do for a while now, and that is a review of all of the books remaining on my Ancient TBR shelves, and a discussion of whether or not I should just let some of these books go because I'm no longer really that interested in them. So I apologize for my voice. It sounds a little bit hoarse. And that is because I've been sick for the last week with a sinus infection. I am feeling much better today, but of course my voice does not reflect that. It still sounds a little bit hoarse. And you may hear some noises in the background. My husband is out in the garage working on a project, and there may be some background noise there as well. Hopefully you won't be able to hear it. So my plan is to just start from the beginning and work my way through these, having a discussion about which ones of these I do still plan to read and which one of these I'm unsure about. And what I would like from you is for you to comment down below in the comment section and let me know either, Heidi, that book is great, you really need to read it, or yeah, you can let that one go, it's not that great. All right, so starting over here, I'm gonna just do that because they're gonna fall if I don't. So this book, Cat's Eye by Margaret Atwood, I am going to keep this. I received this as a gift a long time ago. It is a used copy. Somebody I once was talking to online offered to send it to me, and they did. And I've read multiple Margaret Atwood novels. I really like her as an author, and I haven't read Cat's Eye yet, and I do want to give this a try, so I will be keeping that one. I also have this. This is a brand new copy of Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I do plan to read this at some point, and I really love these Penguin editions. And I just, it's a thick one, and every year I plan to read it for Victober, and I just never get around to it. So this one is one I also plan to read at some time. The Good Earth by Pearl Buck. This is a classic that of a history of China, but it's written by a white lady. I picked it up one year at a library book sale, I believe, and I've just never been, inspired to pick it up. So I don't know. I really like this cover, and I am really interested in a novel about pre-revolutionary China, but for whatever reason, I've never been inspired to pick it up. So that one's a questionable. Okay, we have a Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. This showed up recently on my bucket list TBR, and this is something that I do intend to read. This sort of, in my mind, falls into that category of dystopian classic novels like 1984, The Handmaid's Tale, Brave New World, those type of books. And so I have never seen the movie or anything like that, but I am interested in that type of classic fiction about dystopian worlds and dystopian governments. So I will be picking this one up, obviously. That one was on my bucket list. So these next two books, I'm also going to be keeping. These are written by a friend of mine, and he is self-published Maine author, and these books are about their stories that take place in northern Maine on the Allagash Wilderness Waterway. This one is A Tale of Two Diaries, and Heading North, A Tale of Two Diaries, and this one is Solace, and these are both written by Tim Caverly. So these ones, I think these will join my collection of books that Tim has written, and they also sit in my main, my section of my library that's main books, and I'm not really sure why these are on this Ancient TBR. I'm thinking these just need to come off this particular shelf and go in with those main books. So that's what's going to happen with those. They are going to come off these shelves, and they're just going to get shelved with my other main books. Okay, another classic, Penguin classic. This is Russian Short Stories from Pushkin to Buddha. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. I, again, picked this up at a library book sale. I don't like short stories very much. I hardly ever choose to pick up short stories, so I'm not really sure why I picked up this book of Russian short stories, except that I do like a Penguin classic. So let me know what you think about this one. Do you think is this worthwhile? Have you read, I'm not even sure what stories are in here. I don't think I've even looked. There's some authors that I recognize in there, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Gogol, the regular names, but I'm not sure that that's something that I'm ever going to pick up. So let me know what you think about this one. Inside Out Girl by Tish Cohen. I don't even know what this book is about. I think this is a book that a friend of mine was getting rid of and gave it to me. I don't think this is a Heidi book, so I'm probably pretty willing to get rid of this one. I have no interest in reading this book. So if you really read this and you loved it, please let me know. Another one, Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend by Matthew Dix. Now, this is a book I picked up. I saw it, again, library book sale, I'm pretty sure. And way back in the day when I first started listening to like bookish podcasts and things like that, I believe this was a book that was raved about as a humorous novel. Matthew Dix is supposed to be quite funny. And so because I had heard this name before, I figured I would pick it up, and then I've never been inspired to take it off the shelf and read it. So again, I think it's one that I can easily let go of. This is Under the Skin by Michelle Faber, and I actually will be buddy reading this book in December with Miss Reads a Lot, so this one will be staying. Another classic, The End of the Affair by Graham Greene. Again, book sale, library book sale. And I was in a phase where I thought I wanted to read more Graham Greene. I've read one or maybe two Graham Greenes. And now I'm like, Generally, I do keep classics on the shelf just because someday I might like to read them. But this is something about an adulterous love affair, a love which turns to hate, and a hate which turns at last to a bitter acknowledgement of God. That really doesn't sound like something that Heidi would like, so probably going to get rid of that one too. And also, I don't really like this edition. It's not really my style. This is The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry by Rachel Joyce. This is about, this one's been, highly popular. It's been around quite a while, and I do think that this is a story that I would like. This is about an older man who receives a letter in the mail from a person he used to know, and then just starts walking to visit her. And it's a really, really long way away from where he lives. And he's just sort of ruminating about his life as he does this. And, sort of gives me remains of the day kind of feelings, where a man, an older man sort of is reflecting back on his life and his choices. So I think that one is one that I do want to read eventually. This is We Are All Completely Besides Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. This is about a family who takes in a chimpanzee and raises the chimpanzee as a member of the family, I believe, as a sibling to their children. And I believe I read like the first chapter of this in a Try a Chapter Tag video a long time ago, and did like that first opening chapter, but then never got back around to reading it. So this is one that I feel like I could easily let go, but if you feel very strongly that I should really try it, then please do let me know. Another short story collection. This is How to Breathe Underwater by Julie Oranger. Again, library sale pickup. Never pick up short stories. I'd heard Julie Oranger as a short story writer that is good, is talented at what she does. But again, I have no real desire to pick up short stories. This is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Based on my response to Red Comet, some of you may be going, Heidi, why don't you get rid of this? But I do plan to buddy read this with Kim for middle of the book March at some point. So I will be keeping this, and I am interested in reading this. I mean, this is a classic, right? And for whatever reason, I never was assigned to read it in school, but I think it is a classic book of American fiction, although Sylvia Plath was living in the UK when she wrote it. I am interested to check that one out and see what I think of it. Okay, this is Uses for Boys by Erica Lorraine Scheidt, maybe. And this, I believe, is a YA. And this is about a young girl, a teenager, who just feels like she can fill the sad places in her life by having relationships with boys. And again, this is a novel that I heard about online a long time ago and found this copy somewhere at a used book sale. And so I grabbed it. Again, have never had a desire to pick it up once I brought it into my home. So please do let me know if that's one you've read and if you think I should read it. This is King Lear by Shakespeare. I probably will keep this because I've never read it and it is a little shorty. Yeah, so this one I plan to keep. No real discussion needed of Shakespeare, right? This is The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri, and I will be keeping this one. I do plan to read this one. Again, I did try a chapter tag with this book a long time ago and really, really enjoyed what I read of this, and for whatever reason, I've just never picked it up. But I mean, I think this is, and it's pretty short. I do think this is something I would like. I have liked other books I read by Jhumpa Lahiri in the past. I read Interpreter of Maladies and really liked that. And I think maybe I've read one other thing by this author that I've enjoyed, so I will be keeping that. This is one that I bought based on the fact that it's Sean, the Book Maniac's favorite book. This is Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Tien. I do plan to keep this and give this a try at some point. It's just a huge book, and it's literary fiction, and it's about a Asian Canadian family, I believe, and music, I think. And Sean really loves this book, and other people really love it as well. I got this copy, this lovely hardcover copy at a library book sale, and I do believe that I do plan to keep this one on the shelf and try it at some point. Okay, this is The Golden Sun by Shilpi Somaya Gowda, and this was another book that was given to me by a friend who was just clearing out some books, and she thought I might be interested. This is an international tale of two childhood friends grappling with parental and cultural expectations as they embark on journeys of self-discovery. I'm pretty sure this book is not for me. I'm pretty sure that I will just be getting rid of it. But if you read this and you loved it, let me know. Let's see, what else do we have here? So I have two Elizabeth Strout books, and I will be keeping these and trying these because I love Olive Kittredge by this author, and that is My Name is Lucy Barton and Amy and Isabel. And I think this is the first one, and then there's a sequel, and I don't know if it's Amy and Isabel. This one might be a completely different book, but I've heard good things about My Name is Lucy Barton, and the new book out by Elizabeth Strout, I think, has something to do with this book. So again, let me know what you think about these ones. I do plan to try these just based on my love of Olive Kittredge. I don't know if I'll like these two books by her or not, but we'll give them a whirl. And then I have two more Best American Short Story. They're not Best American. They're just American short story collections. Used copies I picked up at library book sale. I think I will get rid of this one just because it's gross, and I'm just not wanting that in my home anymore. And I basically had kept these around because they were good references for if there was a famous American short story I wanted to read, I could just grab it out of here. And I did read The Yellow Wallpaper out of this collection. I think I will keep this one because there are a couple in here that I have not yet read that I do want to get to. There's a Sarah Orne Jewett story in here. There's a Willa Cather story in here, a Jack London story. So some authors that I like that I would like to try this. So I think this one will stay, but the other one's gonna go because it's gross and I don't need that. Okay, let's see what we have down here. These are the hardcover ones. The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. And I grabbed this at a library book sale. Most of you can see this is a theme here for these books. And then the information came out about his not treating young women very well. And so then I was like, I don't know if I want to read it. But this is a classic of Latino writing, and so I feel like I should try it, but I've also heard that it's awfully misogynistic, so that makes me also not want to read it. So please weigh in, please, on this one, and whether or not it's worth my time, or if I can just jettison this, because I would really like to know. I have an urban fantasy book here. This is Fair Game by Patricia Briggs. This is a book in the series that's called Alpha and Omega, which is about werewolf shapeshifters. And I really love her Mercy Thompson series, which is about, it's an urban fantasy. Mercy Thompson character is amazing, but this is like an offshoot series about the same world, but with different characters that sort of overlap a little bit. And I've never liked this series as well as the other one, so I think I will get rid of this one because it's been on my shelf for like years and years and I've never been inspired to pick it up. So I'm thinking that means I need to just ditch that one. And again, these are all used books. None of these are new books. I'll tell you if it's a new book. How about that? Here's one that I do plan to keep. This is The Roundhouse by Louise Edrick. And, you know, she needs no introduction. Native American author, very highly regarded. Britt has been doing a reading project with this author. And this is a well-known, one of her well-known books. And I do want to give this one a try. So I'll be keeping that one. Here's one that I'm unsure of. This is The Revised Fundamentals of Caregiving by Jonathan Evison. And I totally picked this up at a library book sale based on name recognition alone. Don't know anything about what this book is about. Have never been inspired to pick it up. Am not really excited about it. I think I can get rid of this one, but let me know if it's a favorite of yours and if I should really, you know, check it out. This is The Wonder of All Things by Jason Mott. This is, I believe, a YA. And it's like a dystopian, or not dystopian, but like a, almost like a science fiction type story where a plane crashes into a crowd of spectators and this young girl survives the crash. And when she's pulled out of the rubble, she heals somebody miraculously by touching them. And then it's a story about how she uses that gift, or how people want her to use this gift. And again, this is one that I heard lots of good things about when the book was first came out, and then like never heard anything else about it. Look, it's a signed copy. I didn't even, I can't remember where I found this. And I can't remember exactly when this book was published. That's what I was looking for. 2014. It has a really pretty end papers. So this one I still am a little bit interested in. Let me know if you read this book and what you thought of it, because that one I think I could be persuaded to read it. This is a book that somebody sent me, who I was again talking with online, and she was trying to get rid of this book, and I decided to accept it because I had recently read and loved Station 11, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I do love that book. And this is The Singer's Gun by Emily St. John Mandel. And so I have had this on the shelves for, I don't even know, when did Station 11 come out? So that long ago. And this book was one of her earlier books, and it came out in 2010. So never been inspired to pick this one up. Again, I feel pretty confident I could safely get rid of it and not feel badly about it. But if this is something that you think I would be interested in, let me know. Another Elizabeth Strout book. You can see there was a theme here. After I read and loved Olive Kittredge, I just would grab Elizabeth Strout books whenever I found them. And this is The Burgess Boys. And this one I've always thought that I would be interested in it because it's about these two guys, Jim and Bob Burgess, who leave Maine for New York City as soon as they can after their father is killed in a freak accident. And I don't know, it just sounded like a story, like sort of a family saga kind of story that I might be interested in. So let me know if you've read The Burgess Boys and what you thought of it. Then we have a big Sarah Waters here. I will be keeping this. I do plan to read this eventually. This is The Paying Guests. I read and loved, what was the first one? The one about the Little Stranger, which I loved. And I read Fingersmith, which I also really enjoyed. And she writes an excellent, creepy Victorian novel. So I think this one takes place a little bit, this one takes place in 1922, so it's not Victorian. But I did start to read this at one point, and then for whatever reason, I just didn't have time to read it at the time. But I really like Sarah Waters' writing style, so I will be keeping this one and giving that a try at some point. Here's a Best American Essays, 1993. Again, this was one I just grabbed at a used book sale because I love the Best American series. This is the one from 1993, which is pretty old at this point. And let's see who some of the authors are in this one. I don't know. I think I looked through this and I was like, there aren't very many women in this collection, and it kind of ticked me off. Anthony Burgess is in here. Anybody else I recognize? Cynthia Ozick. I think I recognize her name. James Salter. So I probably will give this one a whirl just because I do like essays and I do like Best American collections. This is a collection of essays, David Foster Wallace's A Supposedly Fun Thing I'll Never Do Again. And I think this one has, does this one have Remember the Lobster in it? I don't see it. I've read Remember the Lobster, and that one was really good. And I think I've read A Supposedly Fun Thing I'll Never Do Again, but I hadn't read the other essays, so when I saw this collection, I grabbed it. Now, I've never read any of David Foster Wallace's fiction, but I do like his essay writing style, so I probably will keep this and give this a whirl at some point. Okay, this is a brand new book, so I will be keeping this because I spent a lot of money on this. This is a University of Maine Press book that I paid full price for when it first came out, and then never read it. This is Stephen King, Hearts in Suspension, with essays by college classmates and friends. So this is, this has an excerpt of Stephen King's book, Hearts in Atlantis, that he started writing, I think, when he was in college. And then there's some other writings by Stephen King as well. And then some of his high school roommates, which I didn't realize until this came out. But one of his high school roommates, I mean his college roommates, not his high school roommates, his college roommates, he went to University of Maine at Orono. And one of his college roommates was my childhood dentist. And his essay is in here. So I had to have this book, even though it cost me like $35. And I've said it, it came out in, when did it come out? Quite a while ago. 2016. I bought it when it was brand new and then left it sitting here. And I do really want to read it, and I will be reading it. And yeah, it's just one of those things where, I don't know, I just never pick it up. So that one is staying. Then I have a collection of nonfiction essays, An Anthropologist on Mars by Oliver Sacks. I read The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, I think, and another one of his books. And I think I'll be getting rid of this one because it's all stained up and looks like it's getting a little moldy. I got it at a library book sale and it's gross, but I'll probably pick this one up again if I find it somewhere in better condition, because that one is Oliver Sacks. I really enjoyed what I've read by him in the past. This is another brand new book, so I have to keep this one and try it. This is Naked Money, a revealing look at what it is and why it matters by Charles Whelan. And I picked this one up because I read Whelan's book. He has one called Naked Statistics, which is excellent nonfiction book about what statistics are, what they can do, how they can be manipulated. And Charles Whelan writes with a lot of humor and a lot of straightforwardness. And I think he handles really complex topics well for the sort of just for the general reading public. So, and this cover is pretty funny. I got this for a Christmas gift from my mother a couple years ago, so I'll be keeping that one as well. And then I have two mass market paperbacks. And this is 22 Stories, Sherlock Holmes Mysteries by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I think I'm going to get rid of this one and find a different version because look how little the text is there. I mean, my old eyes cannot handle that. So that, I think, is going out of the house. And then I just have a romance novel here, A Lady Never Surrenders by Sabrina Jeffries. I'll probably keep this kicking around for a day that I need something easy and relaxing to read, which is what I like my romance novels to do for me. I like them to be just fun, easy reading. So that is it. That's the cleared off to be read shelves. That took a while. Sorry for the length of this video, but please do leave your comments down in the comment section below and let me know which of these books you think that I absolutely still do need to give a chance to and which ones you think are safely can leave my home. And that would be extremely, extremely helpful to me. Don't hold back. I want to hear all opinions. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.